first off, let me say, we're in love with the Aura technology.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And
awesome.
we think it is by far the best pickup system available for an acoustic guitar. And maybe we didn't want to lose that, first off.
Right.
We didn't want to lose that piece of it. And Larry, maybe you could tell everybody a little bit about Aura too, and just sort of remind people of exactly how Aura works and exactly what it is.
You know, Aura came from sort of reaching a point after 15 years of designing pickups and respinning pickups. I felt like we had hit a wall to a certain degree. All the pickups were good. A lot of people were making good pickups. It was almost becoming wine tasting, cork sniffing at that point, you know, to make it a little darker, a little brighter. But we knew that, you know, putting a pickup under a saddle was certainly the most stable place to put the source sensor. It's just immune to feedback like no other type of system is, and it gives you a great mix of string and body. But there was a missing element. It was the way the guitar projects into a room, and it was the time differentials, the phase differential of the way it radiates into a room purely acoustically that a pickup just could not provide being on the instrument. We really needed to be in front of the instrument where all the sound emerges. And the challenge was, okay, you can certainly do that in a studio with a microphone. And
yeah, because we all love the way a microphone, an old microphone or just a nice tube mic sounds in front of a guitar. I mean, that's the sound you hear when you put it on record, when you hear it.
That's right.
It's a recording sound.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly. It's a beautiful sound. It certainly captures the essence of an acoustic instrument, but it's not something that A, you can take to the stage, B, these very sensitive microphones are not roadworthy. You can't travel with them. Right. You know, it's just a real showstopper for the average person as far as cost and availability and things of that nature. So for me, the challenge was, okay, how do I get in front of the guitar when I'm really on the guitar and not have to carry the auxiliary equipment around? And the notion of doing a electronic transform on the pickup signal itself to absolutely mimic the response of the microphone, and that was in phase and frequency, was certainly, you know, in my mind, the way to get there, just figuring out how to do it and how to implement it. It really was an evolutionary process where we actually got it working in a computer long before we could actually put it onto an instrument because it required quite a bit of computational power.
Gotcha.
But we're in a lucky place. Consumer electronics was evolving at a very high rate with iPods and phones and so forth. Sure. And the digital signal processing processors, the chips, were suddenly becoming available and affordable. And the key there was that you could get all that computer processing power in a very small format that you could power with a battery. So suddenly you're untethered, you have something lightweight on the instrument. And we developed the whole Aura process of imaging the instrument in a studio with rare or certainly famous branded microphones and so forth. And choosing different microphones for different guitars that match the essence and the voice of that guitar. If the guitar was dark, we'd use a smaller condenser mic that had a little brighter sound to it, you know. Using all the techniques that great studio producers and recording engineers do. In fact, we work very closely with some of the best in the world. Bill Vorndick is probably the most accomplished recording engineer for acoustic instruments I've ever met, and Bill was involved with Aura right from the beginning, taught me a lot about miking techniques, mic selection, and so forth.
So it's not as simple as just a simple microphone that you would go into a studio and just use the same mic for every image.
No.
You guys actually specifically choose series of microphones for each guitar.
When we image a guitar, we'll use 9 or 10 different microphones and in different positions. Then we have a matrix of sounds that we can choose from that most directly complement that particular guitar. So Aura was certainly breakthrough technology for us, and it presents in a Martin guitar so much better than it would ever present in a low-cost instrument that has no real voice anyways.
Right.
Aura shines when you have the guitar with the complexity and the subtleties that you find in a really fine instrument.
One of the most fun parts of the job for us, and I know Tim Teal and yourself, and I sometimes get to go, is coming up to Fishman and listening to all the different images from a particular guitar against the different microphones and being able to choose which image we feel like best captures that particular guitar.
It makes a difference.
But it's a great time.
You can hear the difference.
It's incredible how the different microphones really change and color the sound of the instrument, and really being able to hear the instrument in person and then being able to hear it through the image of the microphone and trying to get as close to capturing what we ultimately want to hear from that guitar when it's amplified.
Yeah, as you go back and forth between.
I love it.
As
It's
the
the best.
engineers allow us to choose this image, and we think we've got it, and we think that's the best one. And we go listen to the suite of sounds and images, and we go back through the list. We keep honing that list down. It's amazing what you started with, you think is the best one, usually is not the one you end up with.
That's true.
Because as your ear gets trained on those different tones, you start hearing the sweet spot. You hear that special mic that really reproduces that guitar.